Robert Klein likes to call himself a child of the 50s. And you know what? I want to know why. Because his teenage years are still so fresh in his memory. And why, for a 46-year-old, he still seems so much like a kid. Let's find out. Robert, come out here. Look at that fancy shirt. Now, Robert, let me ask you
this color?
The color? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look at you. You look like a very young man. How can that be true that you were a teenager in the 50s?
Well, cosmetic surgery is incredible. I had 2 lifts already, but the third one you can't have because then the eyebrows in the back of your head, everything goes up, and you have to blow your nose this way. Well, I'm 45.
You're 45. Oh, God
yes.
forbid, I said 46.
And if this,
my producers told me 46.
Well, if this...
Now,
if this syndication continues for years down the line, I'm 46, I'm 47, oh, I'm 48. You can edit that in.
Great. No. I rather have you back. I like you.
I like you too.
Now,
she was on my show on USA. Yeah.
I was.
You were wonderful.
Robert, let me ask you something. Were you a make-out artist?
No. I had an incredible dearth of sexual experience. Except with myself. I had a love affair with myself for a long time. Actually, I was very young because I was born February 8th, and then I skipped the 8th grade in what they call in New York the SP, so I was always the youngest.
Yes.
So I went to college when I was 16.
And nobody wanted to look at you?
Well, no. The other problem was I went to an all-boys high school. DeWitt Clinton up in the Bronx. So when I went to college, I couldn't, any leg without hair on it that I looked at, you know, I mean, I got excited. And I was a young nerd. They knew I was young, and it was very hard for me to get started socially. As a matter of fact, I will tell you, when we were 15, we went to a place that we heard about, 2 of my friends from summer camp, and went to a prostitute.
You did? Was she nice?
She was very instructive.
She talked to you?
It was like a professor. And
she told you exactly...
No, this way, honey. And she, you know, and she, I mean that.
Did you use a condom?
Oh, yes. I stole one from my father's drawer. And she had one, too. But when I got home, I scrubbed myself with Clorox and a...
Especially down there.
Large bristled brush for about 2 weeks.
You know what, I think that my floor manager, Dean, must have done the same. Look how much he's laughing there.
Actually, in those days, things were a little more innocent. I remember there was a policeman on the beat that said, I know what you kids are doing here, you know, swinging his stick like a Broadway musical. But he was right. Maybe it was dangerous that way, but it was more innocent times. Like I remember the $100 Misunderstanding was a novel years ago. My social life really took off in the middle of college. I was about 18.
Yes.
And I began to have some experiences. But you see, in those years of my school, the women, no matter what year they were in, had to be in the dormitory by 12 midnight. Ridiculous discrimination.
There's a lot of sex that can be done between 8 and in the evening
Automobiles.
and 12 midnight.
Automobiles.
Yes.
Fogging up the inside of cars, and it was terrible, and guilt and all that. But it was post-college and post-graduate school. I went to the Yale Drama School that I made up for lost time.
Very fast.
Yes.
What kind of woman did you like? What did she look like? I see a nice smile and some sparkle.
At that time, I really was not that choosy, Dr. Ruth. It was essential. A vagina was essential. Not male was mainly the thing. When I think of some of the people, and I guess we did a mitzvah for each other, actually. When
like a good deed. That means a good deed.
I was not choosy. Any woman was sexy to me.
Do you think, Robert, looking back now, was sexual activity, was it more exciting in those days because it was not permissible?
Yes.
It was.
The fact that it was more or less forbidden Perhaps so, but not in. That's in essence and in thought. I think that sex really is still such an essential part of life. I don't see how people, I've seen them on talk shows and talk about abstinence as a...
You can't even say that word.
A total way of life.
So it's not
promiscuity, no, abstinence. I will say that there is a reverse, as you well know, from what we term the sexual revolution. It isn't, perhaps, it depends, to each his own and her own, but perhaps sex just at the drop of a hat isn't the best way to go either. As a matter of fact, now, of course, it's quite the other way because of the fear of disease, a real serious disease.
Yes, but
remember the good old days of syphilis?
Now, you have a little boy.
Now people meet each other at a bar. Yes, I really like you. I think we can do well together. Blood test, the lab technician.
Right on the spot.
I have a little boy, so you know that I've been... Yes.
Now, you have a little boy. What do you wish for him? When do you wish for him to go to the prostitute?
I wish for him to be heterosexual.
Yes, what else?
And if he isn't, I'm going to do my very best. I love him too, but I wish for him because I think it's very difficult to be a homosexual.
Do you want him to be with a prostitute for his first experience?
No.
He should rather fall in love?
No.
No. So how should he have a...
At the age when he, and I would suspect that in this day and age, he would know more quickly. Thank goodness for my older sister, Rhoda. And my mother.
Taught you.
She taught me a lot, and my father was, you know, that girl's mother. You know, I mean, he had a deck of playing cards in his drawer that I learned more from than from him. You know?
Robert, wait 1 second. We have to make a break right here, and we'll be right back.